Hello, I'm that cool next y'all. I'm making a little detailed video that should hopefully go a bit more into the specifics of what you're maybe looking for, which is maintaining your momentum on a wall. All this was recorded on the Route server for Jumpstart, which will be up on the Deadworks launcher at some time. But essentially, I saw this little clip which interested me, which I'll try and recreate here, of essentially going down and, you know, trying to go up here and needing to maintain that momentum. Essentially, I wanted to go through just the basics. Obviously, you have maintaining left and right. So if I hold the key towards the wall, I'll go up. If I hold the key going away, I'll bounce myself off. Now this is useful for certain things. Is if you climb up, you'll see that you mantle. However, doing a side jump, so if I face towards, you can see I'm holding A, is a bit more for height. Now what that means is you're maintaining your line of where you are instead of trying to branch out to the right. So if we combine it already, we can kind of see we fix the going on the right issue, and we have a bit more momentum going in the way that we need. That's essentially in the basics of going further. So just practice that, and then I'm sure you'll start being fixed in no time. However, there was a couple extra pointers I wanted to bring out that should help you some. One, which should be kind of self-explanatory, but is the angle that you put yourself on the wall. The best way to explain this, I would say, is instead of sticking yourself on the wall and using it as a sort of, you know, like an anchor point to stick to, like I saw in the video where you kind of landed on and then did your thing and just, you know, you used it. I like to think of it more as like a little a recovery, kind of like, you know, a soft spot. Imagine you're trying to glide through the area. You're not trying to stick on and go to the next, you're gently gliding through. So it's a bit hard to see there in full. And we can kind of see I try and gently and sort of go along the way. And you can see my character gliding along the pillar there, which is better than just sticking and then just launching myself. That's a big way, is keeping the momentum. That way that's whatever. But so if I keep the momentum like this, I'll be able to keep my speed, and because we're continuing that horizontal line, you're basically getting that speed that you need. You know, you're getting from point A to point B instead of, you know, launching yourself into a wall, losing speed. So angle, where you look, also matters a lot, because if I just jump, I'm gonna go towards the wall. If I jump too open, I'm just gonna do an outer jump, you know, like as if you were kicking off like this. So a little bit diagonally, I'd say, in this sense. Because remember, you're keeping the momentum going, you're jumping to the left side. So the momentum that's going left isn't just going to disappear. It's still there. So you have to sort of control it. You have to control the jump. And then that should get you to where you need to be. Yeah. Hello, welcome to the second part of this movement tutorial on keeping your momentum on walls. In the second part, we're going to go over extended walls, such as this one, where previously in part 1 we went over smaller structures like this, like pillars that you can use to simply get from point A to point B along your journey. Before we go into the extended wall jumps, one thing that I will go on about is the corner boost that can be achieved from a wall. every wall, every object in Deadlock has these corners. And without going too in-depth into it, hitting a corner will give you massive amounts of velocity. So now, how does this relate to jumping walls? Well, one of the best things to do with these smaller structures is you can use the extended velocity boost that it gives you to essentially just touch it and go flying. However, for extended walls like these, like that one, where you don't have that velocity, you know, that corner boost to rely on, you have to use good old momentum, and you have to know how to keep it and best to use it. So for example, for this wall, the best way to use momentum here, say to get across, would be to jump on. So, you know, you jump on, you do a buffer, and then at the right time, you jump, and with that extended momentum, which is a lot more momentum than one, you know, outer wall jump would do, going outside of the jump. So let's go a little bit into how this would go practically. See there? It's essentially just one wall jump, buffering, and then hitting another one. While the second one is definitely the harder part of the equation,